Alrighty, so this is for Aries. This will be your July month overview. I'm going to cover what's going to be happening or changing in your lifestyle, like your social life. Also, we'll be covering your finances, career, business, and then lastly, we'll talk about love. All right, so it's really like a freestyle today, at least. Okay, so let's just jump right in. I hope that you guys are doing well. All right, so tell me about my Aries and Aries placements. What's going on in their lifestyle, their social life, their interests and hobbies, their day to day in the month of July? What can they expect? Give me some messages. What can my Aries and Aries placements expect to happen in their lifestyle, social life, day to day, hobbies and interests? Anything new? Give us some messages, please. I gotta remember to project my voice because I'll talk really low if not. Okay. First card we have is the Ten of Pentacles, which is a really beautiful card to come out. Let's see what else. We have the Four of Cups. And we have the Star, which is interesting. Okay. I'll tell you why that's interesting when we get to that card. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Two of Pentacles, so you most likely will be juggling two different lifestyles. Okay, so I don't know what that means. You'll be playing like a little bit of a double life in the month of July. So I don't know if this is like um, family life is really bleeding over into your personal life a lot, or work life is really bleeding over career, business life, or this could be like friends versus your love life. I don't know, but there's some type of double life here, and it doesn't have to be in a negative way. You know, sometimes double life can be seen negatively, but I feel like this is very positive. So it seems like you're multitasking or able to, I don't know, something's very important about this, especially coming out in your lifestyle, because it is a big part of your social life. And I feel like you being able to prioritize maybe social and connections and networks, also with whatever else you're prioritizing, it's helpful. It's like going to pay off in the long run. So it's good that you're keeping up relationships or connections. You're still reaching out, you're still involved in two things at once. It's like really good. Whereas maybe the average person would just focus on one thing, or even just really just within personally. So I feel like something's paying off with that. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, but it's like a slow return. So nothing exciting in terms of the reward for that. Like next month, probably like fall, this will really pay off for you. You'll remember in July, like, oh, it's good I kept that communication, or I kept that connection up, or I kept going to these meetings. Something's very important with that. All right, so we have the Ten of Pentacles here. Definitely looks like you are claiming some type of reward in your lifestyle. Something is paying off. You're reaching some type of pinnacle of value or success here. So you are reaching like a big goal of yours when it comes to your lifestyle. We'll see what's going on with that. This also could talk about like just having more resources, more time, and more money to do things that you want to do. So there could be some type of goal where you feel like, okay, I'm finally like stable to be able to do these things, or I have more free time. I don't know. You're getting some reward there. We do have the Four of Cups as well. So there is something that you're not wanting to pay attention to. Could be something that you're trying to ignore, something that you're trying to detach emotionally from. Maybe it's very bothersome to you or it's triggering to you. All right. I feel like there's going to be some healing with that towards the end of this month with the Star. I don't know. July feels like a very like results driven month for you. Whether you're trying to, you have another big goal that you're setting for yourself, maybe in the fall season you'll be accomplishing that, and also if you're receiving some type of reward right now. So let's see. Ten of Pentacles. One thing that I'm like not liking lately, I've been so logical with these readings. I don't know why it's hard for me to just like relax, but for some reason I'm just super logical these days. So if I'm talking in that way, I can't help it, okay? All right, what's the 10 of Pentacles? All right, so we have the Five of Wands. So yeah, you're reaching some type of big goal, but it definitely was very difficult to deal with. It could have been involving a group of individuals that just simply cannot get along or even be on the same page. All right, so something just took way longer than you could have been waiting on some type of money. You could have been waiting to have more free time, more downtime. You could have been waiting to get more resources within something was slowed down because of other people, like having maybe too many personalities involved, or something has to be agreed upon through a group of people. So it just felt like a lot of differing opinions here, but something is coming through finally. I guess you and these group of individuals are able to get on the same page and all agree. So something is definitely like moving forward or moving ahead here with the Chariot. Sorry about the light. There we go. All right, let's see what else is here. So this has been a long time coming and possibly very frustrating, but it seems like it's all getting on one accord finally. Tell me more about the 10 of Pentacles for Aries lifestyle. Okay, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, there's some type of group effort that you're doing with other people. I don't know. Like, this is lifestyle, but this also could be business, because Three of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles and Five of Wands is very like normal in group business or partnerships. You're going to bump heads at one point. But this also could be like a team. Like if you do a hobby or interest with a team, this could even be like your gym crew, you know, something, I don't know, something just wasn't, there's some type of initiative here that could be resourceful or beneficial, like a lot of money or income or I don't know, more resources to a group of individuals, but everybody just could not get on the same page. It looks like things are getting better now. Everybody's doing their part, especially if you were dealing with someone who just wasn't like responding, communicating, or like putting in the effort or taking care of their responsibilities. It feels like everybody's on the same accord. So moving through July, you should have a much easier time with this group, whichever group this is. If this is your friends, your family, if this is like partnerships, if this is your lover, it seems like everybody's on the same accord here. Let's get one more card. All right, we have Hermit. Okay, that's interesting. So Hermit is like taking a break, and I feel like this is rediscovering new information. It could be about yourself. So sometimes people go in Hermit like after a breakup, or if they just feel, what's the word? What's the word that people use these days? When you feel overstimulated by society, by people, by whatever, you kind of withdraw and go within. And in that inner, you know, seeking or knowing, you also sometimes come out with new information, being more wise. So I don't know if you're taking on this role with the Hermit. All right. Now the interesting thing is like I do see some type of group effort here, but you may be taking like a back seat, or you could be working in the shadows or working behind the scenes. So you could be taking on a role like that. It may also give you a more clear head to retain more information or learn something quickly. Does that make sense? So if you're not like meant to meet up with these individuals, or be on a conference call with these individuals, or go out with these individuals alone, you may be like benefiting off of more wisdom, learning something more quickly, catching on quickly, maybe opening like doors that were gated, okay, like inside information by just like being alone, or working as an individual, or even working behind the scenes where you're not required to communicate as often, or commune as often. This is very interesting. Let's see what else is here. I feel like you're going to really like this role of playing like I almost want to call you like Ghost from Power. If you ever watch Power, I almost want to call you Ghost. But like from being like this individual from behind the scenes, I feel like you're going to get very acclimated to it. Yeah, the temperance is here. So this is like your peace, your serenity, your calmness. I feel like you also being an Aries and having so much fire quality within you, you may also lose your temper or your patience with all of these opposing minds. So just having to correspond to yourself, or not having to check in, or not having to do something in a group effort but still being part of the group may just be like your peace, your serenity. It also will help you with your patience a little bit with the temperance. It's very balanced and very ideal for you. Okay, so if you are stepping into a role where you are behind the scenes, where you're maybe not sorry, I just got a message, where you're not having to maybe even show your face. Like if you're like a front facing or speaking agent, you know, in some type of lifestyle, maybe taking that backwards role is very peaceful. So even if you're not, because you know you are a leader, Aries, so even if you may feel like this is taking away from your leadership quality, I feel like this is like very like boss made CEO type of energy. So you know, if you change your perspective, I feel like you will become very acclimated with this new role you're taking on. All right, so one of your priorities must really be like something substantial this month in your lifestyle. So, work or career, or maybe even a project, or even like a group effort. All right, so Four of Cups is what you're trying to not pay attention to this month. Oh my goodness, who's calling me? All right, sorry about that. Hold on one moment. All right, Aries, sorry about that. Sorry about the interruption. Okay, so Four of Cups again. So this is something that you're like ignoring, you're trying to emotionally detach from. This could be something that you like have a big turn off to. You don't want to do it, or you don't want to get attached to it for some reason. Okay, so let's just see what this is. Now, just more generally, this could also talk about you being turned off from like interests or hobbies that you originally had. Or even this could be as simple as like the type of food that you used to like. You may be turned off from it. This could be equivalent to someone who used to drink glasses of milk, or milk by the glassful, and then now is turned off to milk. Or if you're turned off to meat and now you want to be vegetarian or pescatarian, vegan, whatever. So it could come in a lot of ways, but let's just see what comes out for this. Four of Cups for Aries and Aries placements. Yeah, Queen of Cups. There's something that you put a lot of heart into or passion behind, or you just had a likeness for. Okay, so it could be as serious or as minuscule as you want to make it, or what transpires in your life. But it feels like you don't want to get attached to this. This could also be like I don't know, some type of interest or hobby, or some type of lifestyle that you could envision for yourself that you grew very fond of, but maybe you feel like it's not happening fast enough for you, or it's not coming into reality. So you're kind of trying to turn your sights away from it. You don't really want to think about this, or um, have a liking for this anymore. So that could be a thing too. For example, like say someone does music and they've been working really hard on their music, and they're trying to get more exposure with their music, but they're not really getting the views or the attention. It's not coming in as of yet. And so now this person's like, I don't want to record. I don't want to make music. I don't want to pick up my guitar, you know, things like that. Because it could be painful, you know, just feeling like you're overlooked, overshadowed in something. Let's see what this is. All right, we have the High Priestess. So I feel like there's a strong intuitive pull to whatever this is. Like you're meant to do this. Something could be like a pathway for you, but there could be unresolved feelings of disappointment. That's just what this is. And this is something that's really hard for you to talk about. So, like, if a friend or a family member or a lover or even like your therapist asks you about this, you are very private about it. It's very painful. Maybe the disappointment that you've experienced. You could be very fragile. This could easily trigger you with the Nine of Wands. So it feels like this is not something that you want people to bring up when in terms of your lifestyle. Because I don't know, you just kind of are, you feel very like you missed your opportunity or your spot with this. I don't feel like it. The High Priestess keeps, your intuition keeps calling you towards this. And I feel like too with the High Priestess, with the Ace of Swords, sorry about that glare, but with the Ace of Swords to the High Priestess, this is you having some type of mental breakthrough. So if you're feeling like you are confused about your path, or if you're able to do this, or if this is meant for you, you're going to get some type of mental breakthrough this month that kind of puts you back on path, that kind of restores that passion and that faith towards whatever this is. It's almost like a wish that you have for yourself, but you haven't been able to see the success behind it that you have put so much heart behind as well. And that's painful. You're getting a breakthrough though. So if you're feeling confused, if you're lacking information, like things are being gate kept, okay? Going back to the Hermit, I feel like you're going to have that breakthrough. So something is working out for you just the way that it's intended to. And it almost brings you to the point where you're turned off by the subject, or you just don't want to even think about it. Because if it doesn't happen, it's just too painful to think of that result. I do see that happening for you, especially with the star. Star is rejuvenation. So this could be like restoring your faith about whatever this is that you're wanting to go after. I also feel like there's a lot of healing, maybe from prior disappointments, even healing in a group situation, that things are going to be running a little bit more smoothly. Hermit also could be very healing for yourself, maybe just needing some time away, being in your own space. That could be very healing. With the star, too, very, very beautiful or very handsome. And the funny thing about the star, well, I don't know if this is so funny, but the funny thing about the star is like, even if you're a masculine, you just exude a lot of beauty. Okay. So you could be just finding yourself taking better care of yourself aesthetically. You could be going to the spa. You could be getting treatments. You are keeping up with maintenance for your hair. Skin rejuvenation is big with the star. So just like acne free, clear face, glowing energy, okay? The star also is exposure, fame, or popularity. So you may find yourself more popular in certain groups. For those of you who had that passion that's not being recognized, it seems like it's going to be recognized here by the end of July. So you're getting some type of reward or wish fulfillment. So something is not so far fetched where you need to detach emotionally from it. You can get some type of breakthrough or clarity, and it leads you to having that successful moment. What's the star for my Aries? What does this mean for July, for their lifestyle? Magician, all right? So this is like, especially with the Magician and you being on the brink of some type of success or reward or even recognition, but almost wanting to give up a little bit because it's just so painful, the journey. With the Magician, this could be like, are you utilizing all your resources? You may not feel like you have everything that you need to accomplish this, but there's some type of breakthrough this month that shows you exactly what you need may have been right up under your nose. So this is like seizing some type of moment or opportunity that's coming in for you. This can be like a helping hand, getting the help you need, getting the directions that you need to navigate something. So yeah, you're still very powerful here, and your manifestation is still working. Your magic still works, All right, 5 of Cups. I feel like you are on the brink of emotional exhaustion when this happens for you the end of July. You just feel emotionally exhausted. Like you gave something your all, you put up so much heart behind it. You put up so much bravery and confidence behind it, and it just didn't feel like it was falling through, but it is coming in for you. But I feel like you're in the brink of like emotional exhaustion with the 5 of Cups. It's hard to look forward with the Five of Cups, but it's happening. Yep. Seven of Pentacles, sitting on some type of resource. You have some type of resources here. I feel like something was just taking a little bit longer than you would have liked, especially with the Seven of Pentacles. This is like when you're watching your garden, you're looking to see what's going to grow. It takes longer if you're just standing there. But also with the Seven of Pentacles reminds you that you have some type of plentiful resource right under your feet. So I see you getting the clarity. You know, something could be right under your nose, but if you don't have the information on how to utilize it, then it just kind of becomes unused. And you're going to get whatever information you need mid-month to seize that opportunity. So I see it working out for you. Don't give up faith or hope, whatever this is pertaining to your personal life or your lifestyle. It's definitely coming in for you. Okay, the Lovers, definitely. Alrighty, let's move on to your career, business, and finance. All right, give me some messages, please, for my Aries and Aries placements. Tell me about what's going to be happening in their career, in their business, or even with their finances. Anything significant, please give me some messages, please. All right, Five of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, I can't answer. Sorry, y'all. All right, let's see. I'm not going to answer. I'm just going to finish this through, honey. All right, and the Hangman. Boy. Yeah, anyway. All right. Five of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Hangman. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. All right, so definitely working in some type of system. Something is very traditional and should not be strayed again. What am I trying to say? Something is very traditional and you should like stay there. You should not be trying to do something unconventionally or trying to do something your own way. Something has some type of long form system that just works and you are to like follow that rule or that tradition, okay? So that's the Hierophant in terms of your money, in terms of your career, or even business. You need to follow the rules by the book. You need to go by systems that have already been laid before you. And that's how you find success. Okay. So I don't know. Something could be very restricted, right? Like something is very structured and you just have to follow the rules. That may be hard for you to do, or maybe you're learning. It feels like maybe you've tried to do something your own way and you're having to go back to step one and now do things by the book. Okay, which I don't think is bad because you should always try out your own theory and see if it lands. But if it's not landing, then you definitely got to go back to space one and start from scratch and maybe do it the way that it's already been intended. And I feel like this is going to bring you a big fulfillment, make things easier for you, have you smiling about your money, have you smiling about your business or your career. Something is just makes things, it just falls into place really nicely. There's a big fulfillment from doing things this way. So remember that as you're going through the course of July, and it's about to rain. Remember that as you're going through the course of July, and you may feel like you get like those itchy palms, like, or you're shifting in your seat, you're feeling restless and wanting to do things your own way. Not happening right now, okay? All right, Five of Pentacles for the beginning of July. Definitely not feeling like you're in a place financially that you want to be in, okay? You may feel like something is hitting too close to comfort with your finances where you're feeling very uncomfortable, uneasy about your money. All right, this could be like, living paycheck to paycheck, or, really having to stretch a dollar. So just not feeling as abundant as you would like and feeling very uncomfortable in that position. There's also this energy of like feeling overlooked. So if there was a job posted, a position, and you're not getting it, that could start off your month just feeling defeated or just feeling kind of annoyed, feeling like you definitely are in the running to be able to receive that, but being overshadowed in some way. This could also be an opportunity if it's like to expand business for those of you who are entrepreneurs. You may feel overlooked in some way. Okay, so that may put you in this place where you're just feeling a lack with the Five of Pentacles. Let's see what's going on with that. Now, just know too, temporary. This is a temporary energy. This is not permanent. So this can change at any moment as we see. All right, so what's the Five of Pentacles here? All right, we have the Two of Swords. Give me one more card too. And the Queen of Cups. Okay. Well, first and foremost, Two of Swords is not good. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And it's not like it's like the worst thing ever, but it's more so focusing on you and your actions. Two of Swords is like having your 2 feet in two different boats. If they're going different directions, it's kind of splitting you wide open. It's not substantial. So it's really like a card of telling you that you need to decide. Clearly decide on what you want, what aligns with your values, what aligns with your goals, your financial goals, your career or business goals, and stick with that. All right. So you may be stuck between two options here and just trying to figure out what to do. Something is pulling on your heartstrings with the Queen of Cups. There's something you've been really nurturing or babying. If you think of like Empress energy, you've created something out of love and you've nurtured it, but maybe you're not seeing the progress that you really want yet with that particular situation, and you're not feeling secure with just being in that situation. You feel like you need to keep up some other situation or job or business to keep you afloat, or you just may feel like you're not trusting the process of whatever this is to follow it through at once. But it's putting you in a very uncomfortable position. So for example, say you work a job but you also have a business and your business is not really succeeding. You're finding yourself like, a little bit under, and you have your job that you get that paycheck every 2 weeks or whenever. It's almost like you can't get promoted in your job because you haven't been fully present in that job, and you can't get promoted in your business and make more money or expand your reach because you're not fully committed there. So which one is going to fulfill you, especially with the 10 of Cups showing up? It's like, which option is going to fulfill you? And having to like stick with that. I think it's hard because I think the thing that does not fulfill you probably brings in more bank. Right now, like I said, all of these situations are temporary. So right now, it brings you more bank, but it's not fulfilling you. Let's see. All right, so we have the Page of Wands here. With the Page of Wands, I feel like this is like pulling for you to be more adventurous, pulling for you to take a risk, pulling for you to go that somewhere that fulfills you or just more exciting, more fun. Because almost like the Wands energy is excitement, which also breeds motivation, determination, go-getter attitude. So like following that thrill can actually lead you to a lot of success. Page of Wands also can be like the discovery card. And if you think of like, if you discover land, if you're an explorer and you discover some really good land and you get excited about it and you want to bring back your family or your community here, it's almost like doing it, like seizing that opportunity versus going off to the next adventure. Then you're kind of wasting time and not building like a foundation, which is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands also gives me like safety. So I think about safety net. So some of you guys are building some type of safety net You could be building like a fund for like a rainy day. So, like your savings. Some of you guys could be really into your investments right now, or even like retirement fund. But this also could be like a business or a career that is your safety net, something that you will enjoy doing and feel comfortable and consistent in for years to come. What's going on with that? Oops. All right, so your previous safety net is just not a safe environment for you anymore. I don't really mean that literally. I just mean that, like, I don't know, something has been destroyed here. I feel like with the Five of Swords, there could be like a lot of rivalry, or just not a supportive environment, like very cutthroat environment, lots of drama, maybe lots of people getting laid off around you or fired around you. Something doesn't feel safe, okay? Something almost is coming to like a point of needing to move the hell on and build something else elsewhere, or go somewhere that's just more safe for you, where you know that your job is safe and not threatened, every couple of months, or you know even working for yourself. That could be something that could be on your mind with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands, and that will be safe, right? I don't know, you're having to build an environment where you feel like you're valued, and also that you have some, what is it called, some equity in. Does that make sense? Because just like for companies, you know how like they'll match your retirement, they'll match your savings, but you can still get fired. So even though you're building equity in the company, you can still get fired. But like if you do it with your own business, or maybe if you join another, this could even be like job hopping to somewhere that just has better benefits for their employees, like shows better care and backing. Maybe you're already doing this, because I do see the Seven of Swords. So you are sneaking around doing something. You're moving parts behind the scenes somewhere. You're not sitting on this and not being, making logical decisions. You're making very wise decisions, probably behind the scenes. So I feel like you're already, like, look, I feel like you're already doing something to set yourself up really nicely. Okay, you are doing something. Knight of Swords is coming out, which is seizing an opportunity. So even if you were very confused in the beginning of this month, you're feeling confused, you're not really secure on a decision just yet, you definitely are not letting some type of really good opportunity, some safe opportunity pass you by. You're seizing that opportunity in that moment. You're not, not doing anything. So that's good. There's like a fear of ruining a certain relationship. Okay, so that's understandable as well, because I just seen the Ten of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles here, so it's almost like you may be seizing an opportunity of something that you feel like is not as fruitful as you would like it to be, but it's something that you can build upon with the Page of Pentacles. You definitely have to make a commitment here that you're afraid to do. I do see you doing it though, okay? Just probably having to build up more confidence, and also build up like your savings, or, have a safety net before you jump ship. So that's understandable. So I do see that with the Page of Pentacles. All right, we have the Hangman here. Okay, so in terms of finances, there's something towards the end of July that you may feel like your finances are tied up. Usually when I see this card, sometimes for people, this could be like you're supposed to get paid, but your money could be held up for some reason. Maybe, your invoices are not being paid on time, so you're having to like wait until that company pays you out. Or a paycheck gets held for some reason, and now you're gonna have to receive back pay on your next one. So definitely building some type of savings, being frugal with your money in the beginning of July and mid July is gonna pay off, because for some reason finances could be a little held up towards the end of the month. Okay, does not mean that these finances are not gonna come or be released to you. They're being tied up for some reason. All right. Also, with the hangman, lots of opinions coming your way, and kind of aggressive opinions. And it makes sense because of the Five of Swords. I feel like so many people want you to go in so many different directions, or kind of want to be your leader. It's weird. You know, this could be like managers telling you what you need to do, what department you need to work under, what position you would be best for, or coworkers giving you their 2 cents about what you should do, or family, friends, a lover. So it's just like a lot of opinions. But basically, these opinions are coming at you because people could be looking at you as someone who's not taking action. All right. So there could be a boss who may want to utilize you under a certain role, and you're not going for it because you have some hesitations, and they may just really be giving you these hardcore opinions every day. Or if there could be coworkers who feel like you could be getting more out of the company, but little do they know that you're about to switch jobs or move to a different department. So it's based off of like ignorance. A lot of people are coming towards you. There's some type of changes that you're going to be going through towards the end of the month. I feel like people are seeing this. Okay. I feel like it's positive as well. Like your money is headed in the right direction. But what's going on here? Yeah. Here goes that wands energy that I was talking about with the page of wands. Like something's going to light a fire under your ass, Aries. And it's going to really give you so much motivation to move on, or to move forward, or to try a new direction. So, and positive changes come with this as well. All right. This does feel very chance like with the Wheel of Fortune, like very faded. So something is really helping you here, you know, especially if the universe or God does see that you're kind of stuck and you need a little push. It is coming in for you. Okay. So this is not like you're going to miss this opportunity. It'll be shown to you. You'll act on it. In the Death card, ending some type of cycle or situation. So again, you could be leaving a job, you could be leaving a position or a department, you know, moving to a new group of people. You could be changing directions in your business. I don't know. There also could be an end of like living paycheck to paycheck, which is amazing. So you could be coming out of that and now managing your finances better to where you can really feel comfortable and enjoy yourself. Really good. All right, guys. So now let's go ahead and do your love life. All right. So tell me about Aries and Aries placements love life in the month of July. What can my Aries and Aries placements expect in their love life in the month of July? Give me some messages, please. All right, we have the World. Page of Cups. And we have the Queen of Wands, okay? Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. All right, so I definitely feel like in love, there was a situation that left a bad taste in your mouth, but you're not so closed off from hearing maybe this person's side, their story, or their truth. There could be some communication coming in where you could be staying very logical when speaking to this person. But you are listening to them, okay? Because usually when it's the Queen of Swords, it's like what's coming out your mouth could be bullshit, but I can still listen, you know, and let you. I'll still share the floor for you to say whatever you have to say. So, yeah, definitely some communication coming in. It does bring a very positive outcome. So I guess listening to this person or even allowing them to say their piece allows for some type of resolution, some type of positive outcome in your favor. All right. So We'll see what's going on. We do have the world, and this could feel like the world is either like completing a situation, so maybe like a situation coming to a close and you maybe learning a lesson from that relationship and moving forward and not repeating a cycle with this person. Now, in other words, the world could also be for those of you who are going to stick in a situation with someone, there could be reaching a new height or pinnacle of this relationship. This could be getting married, this could be moving in together. This also could be relocation. So, if something was long distance, maybe we're closing the distance and coming together. So, it just depends. This could be you saying farewell to a situation, not wanting to repeat, learning that lesson, bring me in a new lover, or this could be moving towards higher stages in the relationship with your current lover. So we'll see what this means. Even if this isn't for you, this could be someone here too who also has learned a lesson, and maybe that allows for you guys to move forward in the connection or the relationship. So let's just see what it's giving. Clarify the world for Aries. All right, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. So again, this could be you closing out a chapter and deciding to remain single, or even moving in a relationship. Like if you're going to stay in your relationship, in your marriage, you may just be taking more of an individual role. You may be reaffirming your independence in some way. Maybe some type of toxic codependent cycle could be coming to an end, where your partner is very understanding and is okay and moves along being okay with that. So again, some of you guys are going to be newly single and standing really firm in your independence and not being tempted to stay in that connection based off of codependence. Or those of you who are remaining in your relationships, you may just be taking on a more independent role where certain things in the past that seem very codependent could have been very toxic or just not conducive, not healthy, and you're just standing firm in that. So no matter what, I just see a big energy of independence coming from you and it being very healthy for you. Okay, so let's see what else is here. All right, we do have the Seven of Swords, okay? So could be dealing with someone here that you just do not trust. This person could have proved themselves to be very sneaky, conniving in the past, a liar. All right, so I do feel like you are just kind of turning your sights away from this person. It feels like this person's paying a lot of attention to you. There does seem to be a lot of codependency with this person, with you, but as they see that you're standing firm in your independence, something's just not bothering you anymore. So it's like either you're going to act right or you're not going to. It doesn't phase me anymore. So again, you could be single and just saying whatever this person wants to continue to do, that's on them. Or if you're in a relationship, you're just like, I gotta put me first, and whatever you choose to do, I just can't get caught up in that mess, okay? I want to know the Seven of Swords. Like, what is this person sneaking off and doing? Or what were they doing? Because the World card can also be like stopping that. It can be completing, that energy. All right. So it does feel like this person wants some type of commitment. They want to move forward with you. I don't know which stance you're on, Aries. Some of you are going to be with this person and you guys could be moving towards a more honest and moving with integrity and actually going towards the next steps in this relationship, maybe healing from a very, untrustworthy time. But there's some of you here who this person is offering you this commitment or to move forward together, but you are just wanting to remain very independent. You're not really ready for that, or you don't feel like you trust this person to move to those stages. With the Tower to the Nine of Pentacles, it feels like a big power move for you to be um, affirming your independence here. I don't know why that's such a big power move. Maybe this person wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's also blowing up this person's world because they could be very codependent on you. So I don't know if this person's codependent on you financially or emotionally, or they have possessive, concerns when it comes to you or issues. But it feels like it's really blowing up this person's world. Like they can't handle it. You seem very unbothered here. All right, Page of Cups is here. You're seeing a more sincere, loyal, or sensitive side from whoever this is. I also feel like there could be an apology coming in with the Page of Cups. Let's see. All right, we have the Knight of Cups. So an apology, and someone is really trying to reassert some romance in this connection. I don't know what that is. Now, those of you who are completely single, not dealing with anyone, not in a situationship, not trying to figure it out, completely single, it does feel like after you close some type of cycle with a prior person, once you finally moved on from that situation, there's some new love coming in for you that you could be really enjoying in the mid-July. Maybe this person's approaching you or saying something to you mid-July and you guys start dating. All right. But also, for those of you who are in this situation, there's some type of apology, and this person's purpose behind that apology is to kind of like regain your trust and also nurture this connection, bring some romance back into the connection. I feel like someone doesn't want to lose you. For those of you who are single, with this new person coming in, it's not a smooth transition between you and this person. I don't know what that is. There's some type of opposing factors here. Could be personalities or like interests, hobbies, maybe love languages. There's some little bit of like, I don't know, opposing energies here between you and this person where it makes it kind of like difficult to get acclimated to each other's energy. There's a lot of romance, and you really like this person, they really like you, but you guys are very different with the Five of Wands. So it takes some getting used to and adjusting. And there could also be an energy where you and this person are very dominant. So it's like, who's going to be the submissive one today? And it just seems like it's a little uncomfortable at first. Okay. It's not very smooth transitions. If this is you maybe trying to work things out with someone, trying to see if they've changed, wanting to move forward, wanting to see them, bring their best A game, it feels like this person has a little hiccups, but it doesn't seem so bad to where the outcome is not positive. There could be power struggles here for sure with the Tower and also the Five of Wands. Like, who's the more dominant? Yeah, King of Swords is here. Okay. Those of you who are single, you're definitely dealing with someone who's very dominating with their opinions, their views, their thoughts, and their intelligence. Okay, or even intellectually. So this is someone who could be very debating. That could be a little annoying. Okay. This person too, I don't know, there's a struggle here between being romantic and then also having a detached nature or attitude. So there's that. There's a power struggle here. Emperor once again. So it doesn't matter if this is someone that you're used to or if this is a new person coming in. There's like this power struggle. You guys are both very assertive people, and I feel like there's a little bit of a struggle here at first to see like who's going to be submissive, who's going to be dominant in this conversation, in this outing, on this date, through communication. Okay? So, yeah. But there's a lot of interest here and a lot of feelings as well. Lots of emotion. All right, Queen of Wands. There's someone here who is not going to chase, and it seems like a more feminine role with the Queen of Wands. And it also shows like maybe the more feminine energy does contain the dominance by the end of July. So it feels like this is the person who's going to be calling the shots. Or at least the masculine is allowing the feminine to think so, because we have the King of Pentacles here. So there's someone here who's going to be very loyal, who could be thinking about long term, who's going to really invest in this connection. They are being submissive to their Queen of Wands here. I feel like this Queen of Wands is manifesting a type of relationship. Like maybe this is someone who set up standards and is like, this is what I'm dealing with. This is not what I'm dealing with. I'm calling the shots this time. I'm going to be the more assertive person. I'm going to, kind of lead the way. And I feel like they're allowed to, or not allowed, but this person is going to be the more dominant one. Whoever this King of Pentacles is on board, and they're just being more submissive to this Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Sun. I think this is how it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's funny because there was some type of positive outcome. So I guess this is the positive outcome. This works out for everybody involved. Maybe the feminine being in charge as of now. King of Pentacles very devoted and committed to this Queen of Wands, but also playing a more submissive role, letting her lead or just be more assertive. And this brings out a very happy outcome. This kind of reminds me of like happy life, happy wife, happy life, like something like that. So if you're a feminine Aries, you could be like just more assertive or requiring to be more assertive than your masculine. Maybe you have like some type of bad energy towards very dominating masculines from your past, and you're just asserting yourself in that way, like, I will not be dominated, I remain independent. That kind of energy feels like whoever's coming in or whoever's coming around to make things right is following that structure. Yeah, that's all I can say. All right, Aries, that's what I have for you. Sorry about all the interruptions. I've been getting a lot of calls, so I apologize about that. But make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.